Yes, the champs in first. We move further down the table, David, and find Manchester United in 14th. This isn't a new topic, but it's one that seems to change a lot by the week. What's the latest on the job status of Ruben Amorim?
Ruben Amorim is under major pressure, but I think most of that pressure is applied on him by himself, as well as the burden of being Manchester United manager. But Manchester United themselves, as I understand it, they're not planning to sack him. They don't want or intend to. And I don't think he's planning to walk away from this. Last season, I think he really felt the strain. And people I speak to says he was questioning whether he could succeed there. But I do think sort of incrementally there is a bit of improvement felt, however small, so far this season, especially with some of the new signings, and it is still very early. But Sir Jim Ratcliffe, as minority owner but with sporting control, is at the heart of this. He's heavily involved. Omar Barada as chief executive, Jason Wilcox as technical director, essentially the sporting director. There's a lot riding on this decision for them because they essentially appointed him and have placed great faith in him and his system. Results will need to improve. We can't get away from that, and we know how this industry operates. But I think they would like to give him more time. There's no guarantee by any means that if they lose against Sunderland that they would sack him. And in fact, I don't think they would, as long as it wasn't too severe. They've got some games after the international break and before the November international break that maybe would be a truer test. Of course, it would be expensive to get rid of him, but I don't think money will be at the heart of this decision. It will be based on what they're seeing from a football perspective. People have talked about shortlists. I don't know if there being a shortlist to replace him. Of course, Man United will always be looking at options like every club and aware of the market, whether it be on an interim basis, a longer term, or even after the World Cup in the summer of 2026. But I'm assured that Gareth Southgate is not in the frame for the Manchester United job should it become available. The players, as far as I know, are mainly with him. They believe in what he's doing, but there's an acceptance that when they concede a goal, for example, they're not any longer doing what they've been set up to do by him, and maybe it's a bit of a psychological and mental issue. There's huge speculation about the system that he's playing. I don't think that's seen as the core issue. More the need for a number 6, which was perhaps more pressing than the number 9 in the summer, and it will remain on the agenda going forward. What's happening with Kobbie Mainoo? That's maybe one to watch for January. The goalkeeping situation, we haven't seen Senna Lamans just yet. So there is a lot going on in this situation at Manchester United. While the likes of Højlund doing well at Napoli and Antony at Betis don't make it easy for United. They need to get winning quickly. So does Amorim starting tomorrow.
Topic that's not going away anytime soon. David Ornstein, thank you very much. So coming back to kind of the main highlights there on Ruben Amorim, you said they have no intention to sack him. Robbie, they clearly, based off of what we heard, would like to give him more time.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that mindset?
Yeah. For the time being, mainly because of the new players they signed in the summer. When you spend over $270 million on 3 new forwards and you're the coach, you surely get time to see them play a little bit together. Šeško's just started scoring, Cunha's back from injury and Burma's been okay. Let's see how this team develops with those 3 players playing regularly. Then, for me, you can judge more. Can't judge him right now based on these new players haven't been playing. Now, as David talked about, there's another window, FIFA break, in November. If by November there's no progression with these 3 players, playing regularly in the team, and they're still in the bottom half of the league table, that break will be a good time to change a manager because a new guy comes in, he's got like a month of games to assess his squad before another transfer window in January. So that's how I see it. Let's see what he can do with the full squad.
You agree?
I'm a little bit different. I think he's had more than enough opportunities. I think he's spent an awful lot of money in transfer windows. I look at Thomas Frank at Tottenham and see an instant change in the players' demeanour, their energy levels, their understanding of what is being asked of them. I think if you look at Oliver Glasner at Crystal Palace and you look at the system in which he plays it, would you say that Crystal Palace have better players than Manchester United? I'm not so sure they do. Look where Crystal Palace has sat in the league. Look what they've done since Oliver Glasner's come into the football club. I think he's on borrowed time. I really do. 19 losses in 50 games is poor. It's not good enough for Manchester United. I think the club is in trouble, and not just on the pitch, but from the top as well. I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe coming into the football club, I think everyone thought he was going to be the saviour. I don't think he's as good as everyone thinks he is, because he's not got a great track record at other football clubs as well.
You say that they spent a lot of money, which they have.
Yeah.
But back to my point, doesn't he deserve the time to see that money being spent and developed? I know he's seen a little bit of Cunha, he's been out for a few games. Yeah. Isn't that fairer to let him have the money that he spent? Let's see how it improves the team before getting rid of him before that happens?
Yeah, I totally understand that, but there's got to be an element of, well, where is the progress?
Yeah.
Like, have you seen anything?
Yeah.
No. Exactly. In the
this is the
time that he's come
last throw of the dice.
100%. I think he's probably got 2 or 3 more games, tops.
Wow. So you see a change as sooner rather than later is the best idea.
If he doesn't get results, 100%, the fans will start... The Man United fans are really good. They back the managers, they never complain, but at some point it will get to a head where they'll just go, enough's enough.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long, and for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.